Good day everyone. We are the group 4 and we are going to discuss the various topics under the financial management subject. But before that, let me introduce first our leaders and members. Leader, Arna Arndea. Members, Ainar Sibuche, Alina Amit, Kaysar Balate, Strela Basnig, Bas Flores Ruho, Louis J. Casalay, Sharina Selum, and yours truly, Lance Figueroa. 5 types of consumer credits. Number 1. Credit cards revolving credit accounts that allow consumer to borrow up to certain limit and pay it back over time, often with the interest on unpaid balances. The credit cards is in the rectangular piece of plastic or metal issued by a bank or financial services company that allows card holders to borrow funds to pay for goods and services with mechanisms that accept cards for payment. Example is ATM. Number 2. Personal loans. Fixed amount loans with set repayment terms and interest rates, typically used for specific purposes like consolidating debt or financing large purchases. Personal loan is an amount of money you borrow to use for a variety of purposes. For instance, you may use a personal loan to consolidate debt, pay for home renovations, or plan a dream wedding. Banks, credit unions, and online lenders can offer personal loans. The money you borrow must be repaid over time, typically with interest.
3 is auto loans. Loans is specifically for purchasing vehicles, with the vehicle itself usually serving as collateral. The example of auto loans is loan amount, interest rate, loan term, monthly payments, and down payments. Auto loans, also known as car loans, are financial agreements between a borrower and a lender that allow individuals to purchase a vehicle by borrowing funds. 4 is mortgage. Long-term loans for purchasing real estate where the property acts as collateral. They come in various forms, including fixed rate and adjustable rate mortgage. The example of mortgage is loan amount, interest rate, loan term, monthly payments, and collateral. A mortgage is a loan from a lender that allows you to borrow money to purchase or refinance a home or property. 5th is student loans. Student loans designed to finance education expenses, often with deferment options and more flexible repayment terms compared to other types of credit. Types of student loans is federal student loans, private student loans, government-funded loans, and institutional loans. Student loans are financial aids that enable students to cover educational expenses such as tuition fees, living costs, and course materials.
Types of budget. Zero-based budget is best suited for addressing undiscretionary costs rather than essential operating costs. However, it can be an extremely time-consuming. Zero-based budget, a budget type where every item added to the budget needs approval and no items are carried forward from the prior year's budget. Zero-based budget is a budgeting approach where every expenses must be justified for each new budgeting period, regardless of historical spending levels. These methods start from a zero base, requiring all activities and expenses to be evaluated based on their merits and necessities. Operating budget shows a business project revenue and the expenses associated with it for a period of time. It's very similar to a profit and loss report. The budgeting process for companies can be challenging, particularly if customers don't pay on time or revenue and sales are intermittent. Operating budget is a detailed financial plan that outlines project revenue and expenses for day-to-day operation over a specific period. It includes items such as salaries, utilities, supplies, and other operational costs. The operating budget serves as a guideline for managing daily business activity and is a crucial tool for tracking performance against financial targets.
Cash budget. A cash budget is an estimation of the cash flow of a business over a specific period of time. This could be for a weekly, monthly, quarterly, or annual budget. So, when we say cash budget, isa ito siyang financial tool o dokumento na ginagamit ng mga negosyo at organisasyon upang planuhin at mamonitor ang kanilang cash inflows at cash outflows sa loob ng isang tiyak na panahon. Karaniwang buwanan o quarterly, layunin nitong matukoy kung magkano ang pera na papasok at lalabas sa negosyo upang masigurong may sapat na liquidity ang kumpanya para sa mga operasyon, pagbayad ng utang at iba pang mga obligasyon. Narito ang mga pangunahing bahagi ng cash budget. Una ay ang cash flow. Ang cash flow ay dito isinasama ang lahat ng inaasahang kita o pondo ng papasok sa negosyo tulad ng benta, koleksyon mula sa receivables at iba pang kita. Pangalawa ay ang cash outflows. Kasama sa seksyon na ito ang lahat ng inaasahang gastos tulad ng mga operasyonal na gastos tulad ng supply, sahod o renta, pagbayad ng utang at iba pa pang obligasyon. Pangatlo ay net cash flow. Ito ay pagkakaiba ng cash inflows at cash outflows. Kung positibo ang net cash flow, nangungulugan itong mayroong dagdag na cash. Kung negatibo naman, nangangailangan ng aksyon upang tumakbo ang isang negosyo. Ang cash budget ay mahalaga para sa mga desisyon sa pananalapi, pagplano ng mga investment, at pagtukoy ng mga posibleng problema sa cash flow bago pa man ito mangyari. Ito rin ay tumutulong sa mga negosyo na mas maging handa sa mga hindi inaasahang pangyayari. Ang cash budget ay isang financial tool na ginagamit upang tantyahin at planuhin ang mga inaasahang cash inflows at outflows ng isang negosyo sa tiyak na panahon. Sunod ay ang production budget. Ang production budget ay is a quantifiable plan that sets out how many units of products of company needs to produce in order to meet its sales goals. So, narito ang production budget. Ang production budget ay isang detalyadong plano na naglalarawan ng mga gastos na kinakailangan upang magkagawa ng isang partikular na produkto o makumpleto ang isang produkto. Kasama sa budget na ito ang mga gastusin sa mga raw materials, paggawa ng overhead costs at iba pang kaugnay na halaga na kailangan upang magawa ang produkto. Mahalaga ang production budget para sa mga kumpanya at organisasyon dahil nakatutulong ito. Una ay ang pagsusuri ng gastos. Pangalawa ay ang pagsusuri ng performance. Pangatlo ay pagplano ng pundo. Pang-apat ay pagbuo ng estratehiya. Ang pangatlo naman ay project budget. A project budget is a plan that details how much you spend for what and by when. When you create a budget plan in advance and use to monitor spend throughout your project, you can reduce the likelihood and you'll run out of resources. Go over budget, a common occurrence in many workplaces. So, a budget is isang detalyadong plano na naglalaman ng mga inaasahang gastusin para sa isang partikular na proyekto. Layunin ng budget na ito na matukoy at kontrolin ang mga kinakailangan ng pondo upang matiyak na ang proyekto ay maisakatuparan sa loob ng itinatakda ng budget at oras. Narito ang ilang mahalagang bahagi at aspeto ng project budget. Mga bahagi ng project budget. Una ay ang mga gastusin sa labor. Pangalawa ay mga gastusin material. Pangatlo ay mga gastusin sa mga kagamitan. At ang pang-apat ay mga gastusin sa mga paglalakbay. At ang panglima ay pondo para sa kontinhensa. Bakit mahalaga ang project budget? Mahalaga ito dahil sa pagsasaayos ng pondo, tinutulungan nito ang mga tagapagpatupad na malaman kung anong mga yaman ang kinakailangan at kung paano ito gagastusin. Pagkontrol sa gastusin, nakakatulong ito upang maiwasan ang labis ng paggastos at masiguro na ang proyekto ay nasa tamang direksyon. Pagsusuri ng pagsasagawa, makakatulong ang budget upang suriin ang progreso ng proyekto at ang bisa ng mga estratehiya. Ang pangkalatan, ang project budget ay isang mahalagang kasangkapan upang mapanatili at kaayusan at tagumpay ng isang proyekto. Kung mayroon kang tiyak na proyekto na nais talakayin, makakatulong ito upang gumagawa ng mga mas detalyadong budget.
Operating costs. These are the ongoing expenses required to run a business or maintain an asset. They include costs such as salaries, rent, utilities, and etc. These are the examples of operating costs. Salary and wages. Payment to employees, including wage, salaries, and bonuses. These are the payments made to employees, encompassing salaries, early wage, bonuses, and other financial incentives for labor. Rent. Cost for leasing office or factory space. Costs incurred for leasing physical space such as office or manufacturing facilities, typically paid on regular basis. Utilities. Expenses for electricity, water, gas, and telecommunications. Ongoing expenses for essential services like electricity, water, gas, and telecommunications is necessary for business operations. And raw materials, cost for materials and supplies used in productions. The foundational materials used in production of goods which is transformed into finished products. And office supplies, expenditures for items like papers, pen, and other administrative necessities. Items required for administrative function including stationery, printer, ink, and office equipment.
Maintenance. Maintaining effective financial management involves a continuous and proactive approach to ensure financial well-being and achieve financial goals. It is not a one-time but a lifelong process that requires consistent effort and adjustments. And here's a breakdown key example activities. Number 1 is budgeting and tracking expenses. Budgeting and tracking expenses. Budgeting is involved creating a plan for how you'll spend your money, while expense tracking involves monitoring your actual spending to see how aligns with your budget. In terms of budgeting, involves nian paghimo sa plano kung paano mo ma-spend imo kwarta. And sa tracking expenses naman is monitoring your cost o gastos kung pasok ba or sakto ba sa imo budget. And you have to do is regularly review and update your budget para matrack mo imo pag-spend sa imo money, you use a spreadsheet or even a notebook. Number 2 is saving and investing. Saving means setting aside money for future needs. Ngan mag-set up ka sin automatic transfer from your checking account to your saving account to ensure na you are consistently saving. While an investing naman is putting your money into asset like stocks, bonds, or real estate. Ngan an imo goal is to grow your wealth. Number 3 is debt management. Debt management involves taking steps to control and reduce your debt. Debt management is a strategy to help you control and repay your debt through budgeting and financial planning. And number 4 is insurance and risk management. Insurance provide financial protection against unexpected events, while risk management involves identifying and minimizing potential risks. Insurance is also known as risk protection insurance. Is a type of insurance that helps reduce financial impacts of specific risks. And risk management is a process of identifying, assessing, and reducing the impact of potential threats to an organization. And in terms of potential threats, potential threats are the possible dangers or risk that could negatively impact an organization. Number 5 is financial planning and goal setting. Financial planning involves creating a roadmap for your financial futures, while goal setting involves defining specific financial objectives. Is the process of assessing the current financial situation of a business to identify future financial goals and now to achieve them. Goal setting is taking steps to achieve desired outcome. Number 6 is regular review and adjustment. Regularly review your financial situation and making adjustment as needed is crucial for maintaining effective financial management. So number 6 is track your progress toward your financial goals and make adjustments to your plan as needed. Number 7, the last number, is seeking professional advice. Consulting with a qualified financial advisor can provide valuable insights, guidance, and personalized strategies. You have to do is meet with your advisor regularly, discuss your financial progress, any changes in your situation, and any question you have. That's all.
What is capital? Capital is the amount of cash and other assets owned by a business. Capital can also represent the accumulated wealth of a business, represented by its assets, liabilities. Capital can also mean stock or ownership in a company. In general, capital is accumulated assets or ownership. Capital is a thing na ginagamit to start or build the business. Ito ay maaaring makita sa pera, lupain o natural na resources. Ang kapital ay ginagamit upang makagawa ng produkto. And capital is important to build the business. Own capital. It's a types of capital. Own capital, this capital that owners for a business. Preference shares. Preference shares, preferred stock, are company stock with dividends that are paid to
shareholders before common stock dividends are paid out. Owner's capital is the amount of the money and resources an owner invests into their business to help succeed. And preference share are shares in company that are owned by people who have the right to receive part of the company before the holders of ordinary shares are paid. Example, kung isang kumpanya ay may liquidity and need niya mag-shareholder, magkakaroon ng prioridad to claim ang natitirang asset kaysa sa mga karaniwang stockholder. As yan, preference shares. And next is fixed capital. This money which is used to purchase assets that will remain permanently in the business and help it to make a profit. Factors determining fixed capital requirements. And so, fixed capital is the portion of total capital outlay that is invested fixed assets such as land, building, plant, and equipment. An example is nature of business. It refers to the type of general category. For example, if you work at McDonald's, the nature of business is food services, and last is capital banking. Bank capital is a measure of bank shareholders' investment in the business, and bank capital is different between bank asset and liabilities, and it represents the net worth of bank or equity value to investors. The asset portion of bank capital is include cash and interest loans.
Capital requirement. The capital requirement is a bank regulation which sets a framework on how bank and depository must handle their capital. Sa capital requirements refer to the amount of money needed to start or expand business, finance operation or project, meet regulatory or legal requirements, and cover risks or unexpected expenses. For example, mag-abri ka small business sa online, tapos may nakapundo ang 1,000. And 500, ikakadi mo siya sa pagbuo sa website. So, another na 500, ikakadi mo sa ibang gastuson na kailangan. Capital requirements. Regulatory capital. In the Basel I Accord, bank capital has divided into 2 tiers, each with some subdivision. Tier 1 capital. Tier 1 capital, the more important of the two, consists largely of shareholders' equity. This is the amount paid up to originally purchase the stock or shares of the bank, not the amount those shares are currently trading for on the stock exchange. Retained profits subtracting accumulated losses and other qualifiable Tier 1 capital securities. So sa Tier 1 refers to bank core capital consisting of common stock, retained earnings, disclosed reserves. For example, Bank X has common stock of 100 million. Retained earnings is 50 million. Tapos ang disclosed reserve, 20 million. So, total of 170 million. Tapos may tinatawag nga RWA, risk-weighted asset. Sa risk-weighted asset, may siya sulod nga government loans, 1 million, 0%. Corporate loans, 1 billion, 50%. Individual loans, 800 million, 100%. Other assets, 270 million, 100%. So, ang pag-calculate sa iya, sa government loan na 1 million times ang iya percent. Bali, tikadi sa other asset. So, consider 1 billion times 0% plus 1 billion times 50 plus 800 million times 100 plus 270 million times 100 equal to 3.77 billion. So, magkukuha na kit sa ratio sa Tier 1 capital. So, ang pagkuha sa ratio is an 170 million kasi ito na niya Tier 1 capital. Tapos, ang risk-weight asset is 3.77 billion. Kasi ito na niya dito magpag sa Year 2. So, 170 million divided by 3.77 billion times 100%. So, ang iya tanan is 7.51%. Kasi ito niya ratio. So, sa Tier 2 naman, several classification of Tier 2 capital which is composed of supplementary capital. In the Basel I Accord, there are revolution reserves, subordinated term debt, preference shares, hybrid instrument, general provisions. So, sa Tier 2 capital, example niya is subordinate debt na 50 million. Tapos, ang hybrid instrument, 20 million. Tapos, ang preference share is 30 million. Tapos, ang revolution reserves, 10 million. Total of 110 million. Mas maulagi hapon sa Tier 1 kanina ang pagkuha sa ratio. Diba, may naman kit raised weighted asset na 3.77 billion. So, ang natong kuha na lang yan na is an ratio sa Tier 2 capital. Diba, 110 million divided by 3.77 billion times 100%. Total of 2.92%. Asya po ito ang iya ang ratio niya. Thank you.
Good day everyone, I'm Arnel Arandia and I am the leader of Group 6 and I was assigned to discuss about the role and responsibilities of a financial manager. As we all know everyone, a financial manager plays a very important role in the success and stability of any organization or business. They are all responsible for overseeing the financial health of the company or business and ensuring its financial resources are managed effectively. And it provides strategic guidance to the senior management. And also, their responsibilities encompasses a wide range of activities from budgeting and forecasting to investment analysis and to risk management. And again, financial managers are tasked with several key responsibilities which can be vary depending on the size or how big the structure of an organization or business. And the first role and responsibilities of a financial manager is the financial planning and analysis. And under the financial planning and analysis, we have budgeting, forecasting, and financial reporting. In budgeting, developing and managing the company's budget, allocating funds to different departments and project and monitoring spending to ensure the alignment with the financial goals. One of the most important tasks of a financial manager in budgeting is that he or she makes sure that the financial or the budget that will give to a specific project is magagastos sa tamangan, diri mawawara, like dere makukurap, gin-make sure gin-monitor san financial manager nga ang igahatag na budget sa nga project is align kay kung ano ang goals sa nga particular nga project na gintutukod. And then the second one is the forecasting, or commonly known as the strategic planning. Predicting future financial performance, analyzing trends, and identifying potential risks and opportunities. This means that examining data and patterns to understand directions and recognize areas of growth and decline. It involves identifying threats or the risk in an organization and possibilities or opportunities that will come to an organization or a business. And also it informs strategic decision, mitigate potential harm, and capitalize on benefits. This process enables organization or company to adapt, innovate, and achieve their goals by addressing challenges and seizing possibilities. And last, under the financial planning and analysis is the financial reporting. Financial reporting, preparing and analyzing financial statement, including income statements, balance sheets, and cash flow statements to provide insights into the company's performance and financial position. So what is income statement? Income statement is also known as a profit and loss statement. It summarizes company's revenue and expenses over a period of time. Like, ginihimi ni siya, pwede siya monthly, quarterly, or yearly. It provides insights into the revenue generation, cost structure, and profitability. And, naman natawag ginayak, ang aton gintatawag nga balance sheets. Balance sheets provide snapshots of a company's financial position at a specific point in time, typically end of the quarter or end of the year. It presents the assets or the company owns, liabilities, what the company owes, equity, owners or shareholders or interests of the company. And what is the cash flow? Cash flow statement shows the inflows and outflows of a cash and cash equivalent over a specific period, typically monthly, yearly, or quarterly. It provides insights into having liquidation or liquidity, proper solving or solvency, and financial flexibility. And then the second role and responsibilities of financial manager is the investment management. Under the investment management is investment analysis, capital budgeting, and investment analysis, evaluating financial investment opportunities, assessing risk and returns, and recommending investment strategies to maximize shareholder value. In evaluating investment opportunities involved assessing the potential returns or gains, identifying risk or the mga threats in a company, losses or downsides, and recommending strategies to maximize shareholder value and optimize risk-return trade-off. This process helps investors make informed decisions, balancing potential gains and potential losses to achieve their financial goals. Analyze investment for returns, risk, recommend strategies and maximum shareholder values. And the second one under the investment management is the capital budgeting. Capital budgeting and managing long-term investment such as purchasing a new equipment or expanding facilities to ensure efficient allocation of capital. For example, the capital planning. It identifies long-term investment opportunities, example, new equipment expansion, evaluate cost, benefits, and risk, allocates capital efficiency to maximize the returns, minimize cost, and optimize growth. The goal of capital budgeting is to optimize resource utilization, enhance financial performance, drive strategic growth. Capital planning, strategically allocating resources for long-term investment to maximize return and drive growth. One of the best example in capital planning is that when you're going to create or build a new branch, for example, and KKB Wings is nagtukod sa sa pang branch, mag-ukan sa nga sa capital budgeting, mga masulod na nga dang capital budgeting nga magkukuan sa budget or capital para sa na nga era tutukudo na bago nga branch para mapalagoan era negosyo para magdamulat an era investors and ma-make sure nga an performance an era business or kuan o ang performance ng company or business is nag-grow ngan makikita nga nga less and possibilities nga maggamay da mga threats or mga risk ito nga particular na organization or company. And the third role of responsibilities of financial manager is risk management. Under the risk management is risk assessment and insurance and hedging. Risk assessment, identifying, evaluating, and mitigating financial risks such as credit risk, market risk, and operational risk. In financial risk management, identify potential risk like credit, market, operational, evaluates likelihoods and impact, mitigate risk through hedging, diversification, insurance, and controls policies. The goal of this is to minimize losses, protect assets, and ensure financial stability, or even shorter. Financial risk management, identifying, evaluating, and mitigating risk to protect financial assets and stability. And the second one under the risk management is the insurance and hedging. Insurance and hedging or hedging or risk mitigation. Implementing strategies to protect the company from financial losses due to unforeseen events such as natural disaster or economic downturns. Financial risk mitigation. Implementing strategies to minimize financial losses from unforeseen events such as natural disaster, economic downturns, and market volatility. Strategies is insurance, hedging, diversification, emergency funds, and contingency planning. The goals of this is to protect financial stability and minimize losses. And also financial risk mitigation, proactive strategies minimize losses and unforeseen events. For example, sini is an company is nalugi dahil sa nabagyuhan, narobat and structure, may dadayon sira kuan may dasara dayon plan B para even nga magkamay naman mga unforeseen events or mga disasters makakabangon dayon ng usa nga company. Dapat ang financial manager is advanced thinker siya kay para maiwasan ang mga sadsa na nga mag-close ang company dahil sa mga unforeseen events like disaster or downturns. So dapat ang financial manager, ang mindset dapat ma-open iya critical thinking or dapat critical thinker siya nga masosolusyonan dayon niya and for example umabot ito na particular nga situation. And the fourth one under the role and responsibilities of financial manager is the compliance and reporting. Under the compliance and reporting includes the tax compliance, regulatory compliance, financial reporting, or the financial reporting. In tax compliance, ensuring the companies with all applicable tax laws and regulations, including filing tax and returns, paying tax on time. So, dapat, ang financial manager and mindset sana is, dapat he or she making sure na nakakomply sa task or nakakomply ano sa organization na iya yung kakaptan task, nakakomply tax on time, like nabayaran tanan, and make sure liwat nga sa nga company or organization is nagpa-follow sa rules and regulation nga ginkuan sa mga, like for example government, api siya sa government na kuan, syempre magbabayad man itong task, making sure na sa pagbayad task is na-follow liwat, dapat may prior knowledge and financial manager kay kung saan magbabayad task sa tama, tapos nanan mga rules and regulations sa nangausang nga business. And then the second one under the compliance and reporting is the regulatory compliance. Stay informed about and adhering to relevant financial regulation such as Sarbanes-Oxley Act for publicly traded companies. So kung nag-wonder kang what is Sarbanes-Oxley Act, the Sarbanes-Oxley Act or SOX is a U.S. federal law enacted in 2002 to protect investors, ensure corporate accountability, and improve financial transparency. May mga key provision ito siya, and it includes the accurate financial reporting, internal controls and audits, CEO, CFO certification of financial reports, disclosure of balance sheets, transactions, whistleblower protection, and last is the enhanced sec of oversight. And under the compliance and reporting, we have also the financial reporting. Financial reporting, preparing and presenting financial report to stakeholders including investors, lenders, and regulatory bodies. Sa financial reporting, ginpa-present sa financial manager ang mga reports, all the reports like what I've mentioned earlier, ginpa-present ito sa financial manager ang mga cash flow, income statement, balance sheets, or any other. Ginpa-present ito sa financial manager sa during meetings or sa mga investor, sa lenders, or sa regulatory body during meetings. Kaya para maging for transparency report ito siya nga ang regulatory bodies is aware or ang mga investor aware kay kung nano ang performance san ira business or organization. And the last one under the role and responsibilities of financial manager is the management and leadership. Under the management and leadership, we have team management. Team management leading to the supervising of team financial professional including accountants, analysts, and other financial staff. So basically, ang financial manager is siya nagmamanage sa bugos na team, gisusupervise niya ang tanan na staff or tanan nga regulatory bodies usang business or company, making sure na the performance of the business or company is doing good and tamaan kuan it naging overseas niya ang mga kuan ang mga kada department sa nga kuan organization gin overseas niya para makita niya kay kunanan mga kakulangan or mga problems nga masolusyonan din ito niya. Siya mismo naan manginginano sa nga tanan para maopean performance o sa nga company. And to add more, one of the most important role and responsibilities of a financial manager, but I forgot to put this on a PowerPoint, is the communication and collaboration. Effectively communicating financial information to various stakeholders, including senior management, investors, and other departments within an organization. So, ini siya ang pinaka-importante gud sa nga tanan. Dapat may dakit proper communication and collaboration within the company. Mga stakeholders, mga staff, kay nga da nakikita natin kung magkamay dakit proper communication and collaboration within the staff, investors, and other departments within sa ng organization, nga da natin makikita nga mag-grow aton performance kay tanan kita is nakikipag-communicate sa tama and through the communication and collaboration makikita naton dida nga magkakaintindihay tanan na plans, tanan na mga plano sa kada departments, mga stakeholders, all the suggestions is makikita nga to or mapapakinggan nira tanan kay din mi make sure nira nga after meeting or before meeting makita nira nga kay masolusyonan dayon nira kung nano ang mga kakulangan sa organization or kung paano ma-improve. And that's all for today and thank you.